The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Yule. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Yule. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
We're going to be talking about this quote that I heard. This quote that I heard this morning, which goes something like this. If you think it's expensive to hire a professional, wait until you hire an amateur. And I thought how this was super powerful and super relevant. You see, the problem today is we have an opportunity to promote ourselves on social media as professionals. We have an opportunity today to make ourselves look bigger than we actually are. And not only that, we have an opportunity today to promote ourselves more than we ever have. This goes all the way down to social media, the look, the feel. All we have to do is just get subscribers. We just have to get likes. We have to get people to follow us. We literally have become entertainers. Think about it. Pull up your Instagram or Facebook and you'll see hundreds of thousands of amateur trainers, amateur coaches who have large followings, who can't even do a basic exercise correctly. Professional bodybuilders, professional fitness people who can't even do a basic exercise correctly, yet they have thousands of followers and they're telling everybody, hey, I'm a trainer. I'm your next coach. I'm your next nutritionist. And it's obvious that not only that, but they're taking drugs, they're taking supplements. Now, I'm not knocking them for that, but here's what I am saying. I've been on both sides of it. I've used the drugs, so I can talk about it. I started using steroids at 16. And yes, I did training with people, even at 16. Hey, buy some steroids from me. I'll use them. And then me and my friends would go work out, and guess who would end up training them? Me, most of the time. And I continued to do that. So I'm not knocking anyone for doing that. And I believe this. We all have to start somewhere. But this is more about hiring a professional and being committed to that versus hiring an amateur and expecting to get professional results. Listen, anymore, if you go online to find the best trainer, you won't find the best trainer. You'll find the best marketer. Even if you went to a gym, a local gym, you'll ask for the best trainer. Guess what they'll give you? The best salesperson. The best salesperson. Now, the other side of this is in the same industry, we have coaches talking about making 7 and 8 figures in their business. Yet when you see them in the real world, like it's just not happening. They may have made 7 and 8 figures over the last 10 years combined, but they don't make it on a yearly basis. How do I know this? Well, I was in the industry for 20 years. I had my own business for 13, and I remember hundreds telling you how much they were making, how much they were bringing in every month. But yet, every time you'd see them, they were still struggling. They weren't making any money. And then sooner or later, they'd end up closing their gym down. Or you talk to someone who actually worked for them, and they'd be like, no, man, we ain't doing anything close to this. But now you can actually search online, and you can find out that the majority of your best trainers online are your best marketers. Not your best coaches, not your best trainers. And whether you're in personal development or you are in personal training, it's the same. The best marketers are the guys showing up online. Now, it's came a long ways in the last few years. There's been a lot of adjustments, and you'll see several people, but there's still people slipping through the cracks. slipping through these cracks that are coaching and training and doing these things, and they have no idea what the hell they're doing. It's literally a nightmare to find professionals because you have the ability more than ever to look like a pro, even if you're an amateur, just because you have a large following. Now, think about this. In the athletic field, you get exposed because the minute you start playing a game with a professional, you realize that, hey, this is not the same game. This game is much different. But inside of personal training, the only people who know this are the trainers. Most average people won't know this. Most average people won't know this. So I want today to be more about, hey, how do I actually hire a professional? How do I actually avoid hiring one of these amateurs? Or at least if I hire an amateur, it's a good amateur. But getting caught up with the wrong trainer is painful. Getting caught up with the wrong coach who gives you some shitty advice, all of a sudden you're eating things that, are completely ridiculous. You're, not eating carbs and you're doing all these crazy things. And yeah, I get it. We have these keto gurus. Guess what? The keto diet has been around for a long ass time. It was called the low carb diet. So it's really not changed that much. It just got repackaged. Hang out in the personal training industry for 20 some years and you will know that. But all it takes is someone to give someone else some shitty advice to hurt them, to put them in a position where maybe they get a divorce. They're no longer seeing their kids, or they make a choice on quitting their job, yet they have nothing to actually back them up. And I can remember even amateur bodybuilding back in the day, like 25 years ago, going to the gyms, and these bodybuilders was prey on young kids who didn't know any better. They would give them whatever money they had to get whatever they had. And the guy would usually end up giving them a bottle of something that they made at their house and selling it to them for $300 or $400. And then all of a sudden the kid's like, hey man, I'm breaking out everywhere. I don't know what's going on. And they would end up getting sick or getting pneumonia, or something else would happen. Their life would literally be turned upside down, and it was all because someone was using their physique, using their image to pretend that they were a pro. So what might be possible if we could begin to influence people from where we're at, not above or below? What might be possible if we could have trainers and coaches in line with their integrity? Having influence is one thing. Having influence is super powerful. And it's amazing that we have this ability to do this, to persuade people into believing that we are better than we really are. But that's a scary situation to be able to be in. What might be possible if we could use this influence in a way that actually began to check the backgrounds of the trainers and the coaches that we're hiring? So everything that they say that they're doing is actually happening. The results that they say their clients are getting is actually happening. The money that they say that they're making is actually happening. And make sure before you hire this coach or trainer or wealth coach, you're doing this research. Like, this is the real path, is you doing your homework and doing the research and not necessarily believing the hype. And it's cool if somebody has a lot of likes. That's awesome. But it doesn't make them a professional just because someone likes them, just because they have a large following. It doesn't mean they're professional. It means they have a large following. It means they're popular. It means that they might be entertaining. And in some cases, they may be a professional and they've just done a lot of work. But find out, ask some people who have worked with them. Ask about the results. Just the other day, I had a potential client ask me, hey, do you have any case studies? And I said, yeah, I have lots. Would you like to put you in contact with them? Because why? Because I want my clients to feel like, hey, I'm going to sell your program as good, if not better than you. And that was one of the biggest things inside of working in gyms, is I wanted my clients to be walking testimonials. I wanted my clients to talk about how professional I was and how much of a higher standard I held them to than anybody else. because I wanted to be known as the professional. Because if you think it's expensive to hire a professional, wait until you hire an amateur. I can't tell you how many times someone would say, well, it's really expensive to work with you. I'm not sure I can afford it. And I said, okay, I get it. But can you afford to work with someone lower quality and lower results? And they said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, you can go down to any other gym or any other training facility and get a trainer. But can you afford to get injured? Can you afford to get put on the wrong nutrition plan? Can you afford not to get results? And they said, no, I want to get results. And I said, okay, so you're willing to pay for your results then, correct? And they would say, yes. So as you begin to go through this, make sure you're doing your homework. There's lots of ways you can check. You can even ask them directly, like I had the gentleman the other day ask me, hey, do you have some case studies? I would love to know who they were. And I had 3 or 4 that kind of knew the guy. So I said, yeah, I have these guys. Ask them about me. But I thought it was great because Instagram doesn't tell you if someone's professional. Facebook doesn't always tell you if someone's professional. Social media doesn't always tell you someone's professional. What will tell you this is you doing your homework and checking up on people and making sure that their stories line up and you can continue to research. Listen, if you're listening to this podcast and you want to check out my habit-based lifestyle secrets page, maybe even my 30-day habit bootcamp, which is the initial phase of my program, or just have a conversation about it, please let me know. If you want to be our next case study and begin living a habit-based lifestyle, email me, jesse@habitbasedlifestyle.com, or you can check out our website, habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have an awesome day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing.